Hello everyone, I am the Painter and welcome back to A Tribute to Mastery. We are going to be doing yet another Bob Ross painting, and this one is going to need a white backdrop. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cover this in a layer of white paint. I will be back as soon as that's done. Alright, our canvas has officially been prepped. Today we will be using white, yellow, green, red, blue, and brown, which is the usual range of colors that we use, but sometimes we use more, sometimes we use less. So this will be what we need for now. And of course, make sure you have some water or heat thinner handy. Nothing special, just whatever you need to clean out your brush, assuming you're following along. And our very first step, once we've got everything ready, is we're going to load our brush full of red. And we're gonna go in here, and we're gonna start adding it to our sky here. And we're just layering this in, making it this beautiful pink color. And without cleaning the brush, we're gonna go in with our blue. Now we can add a little bit in here, and a little bit in here. We can go in with a bit of yellow too, making this brownish grayish color. Now we've really got something going. We want our sky here to have layers of color, so it's okay if some spots look more reddish or bluish or brownish more than others. And of course we can put some of our color down here. We have not cleaned our brush yet, we're just layering in our colors. This is the base for the entire painting, so you gotta be careful with the canvas and get rid of any stray brush strokes. And now we can go in with some brown and a bit of red, and we can just go in here and we can start making some tree-like shapes. We have not rinsed out our brush yet, so we're just going in and making sure everything is somewhat similar in color. Not quite the same, obviously, because then you're just a big mud mixer, but something similar. We're not even trying to go for a ton of detail. This is just basic shapes. You can always get more paint if you need it. We're going to take it, and we're even going to start making our way up. Maybe a little here, add some, make it go this way up. And this whole area here can also be tree. Why not? We're having fun with it. The closer out to the edges you are, you're probably going to want it to be darker so that you're able to see more distinctly where the tree stops and the sky begins. And now we're just going to go in here and we're going to start pulling down. Eventually this will be water. See how it's already starting to look like something? That's what you want. And now we're going to go in with our sponge brush, get a bit of brown, mix in some yellow, and the tiniest amount of green. And we're gonna start putting in some highlights on this to make it really look like trees instead of weird brown shapes. Plenty of green and yellow. This painting is not monochrome, so it makes sense that there is going to be more variation in our colors. We will even get a little bit of red just to mix it up here. And we're just putting these on the tops. These are already starting to look more like trees. We need plenty of yellow, making it almost sort of ochre, like brown color. Then if we want, we can go in with our smaller brush and we can start trying to halfway soften up some of these edges. We're just looking for basic shapes here, don't want too much detail. Then we can even go in with our greenish, yellowish and mix it up, and we can even bring these down a bit too. Add more color to our reflections. We're just pulling them down here. You want it all to go in the same direction. And then we can go in with our little brush, and using some brown, we can make some indication of branches. Just in here, using straight brown, really cuts through everything. I'll go all twisty and stuff. It'll look cool. Want some variation too, so we can do that. Have one that's got two little things coming out of it, like that. Then we'll have one like that, and then maybe we'll have a little bit of a bigger one going out this way. Plenty of branches to show how many trees we have. And now, using our palette knife, we're gonna go in with the white, and we're gonna just layer it on here, onto our palette knife here, and we're gonna just start creating our waterline. This ends up being much cooler looking with the straight edge. We can add a bit of... You don't want it to be one big straight line. It looks more realistic if you have a bunch of ones that are right in here. And it's like little reflections in the water, maybe little miniature waves and stuff. ends up looking pretty cool. Some of this might get covered up, but honestly, that's not the worst thing in the world. You know what? I like this little tree here. I like him a lot. This one can be Robert's. Robert's way here on the left on his own. Well, not really on his own. He's got his friends. Robert's really good at changing the type of tree that he is. It makes it much more fun to find him. And maybe we can go in with some brown, and we're just gonna start creating a bit of a landmass. And we can start it just about here. See how easy it is to bring it into the world with the palette knife? Palette knife is a very useful tool. You're able to move mountains and move whole islands and stuff. And because we've already got some white onto it, it makes the colors more dynamic. And using our brown, we can go in here, about here or so. Yeah, we can bring it this way, have it come this way. Maybe we'll bring this up a little bit. And then we can take some white and some blue and mix it with our brown here until it's a grayish color. And we can use that and create some highlights. Use that to halfway sort of fill out the area that we're doing. And layer that in on top of our already established ground. It ends up looking very dynamic, very cool. Palette knife is also one of the best tools that you can use to get paint off of things. Like, just like that. And you're able to scrape it away. It's also really good for spreading it. Alright, I caved in, I got more brown. And at a certain point, we can just kind of fill in the gaps with our brush here. We can even go in and we can mix these two colors together, make it a little bit less obvious of where it stops and then it begins. Okay, and if we add some green to it, that's okay. There's gonna be green on here, why not? And maybe we can go in with our brown and our white and blue mixture, and we can just go in here and sort of halfway smudge in the paint. Maybe there's a tree that lives here on the side of the river. And then we can add another branch to it, make it a little bit taller. And then go in with our brown and our green, and we can give this little guy some branches. We can go in and do its not branches. Okay, we're giving this guy some leaves, and then we can go in and give it some more branches later on. Just like that. Like I said, we can go in here and halfway kind of cut through this. And then we can give this little tree some grass to play on. Why not? It's a very pretty little tree. And then in these parts up here, we can just more yellow to really just make it more distinct from the background. Just like that. And it kind of makes sense that there's a little bit of it behind the branches and some of it is in front of it. And using that same fan brush with the grayish, brownish, bluish color, we can go in and let's create another tree. Make it a really tall tree. Going down this way. More brown to it, make it more distinct. And this thing, and its little branches can go all the way up here. And of course, we'll give this one some leaves too. More green. More green. Make it look more alive. Alive! More green. And we'll put more yellow here. Maybe a little bit of red. Some cool contrast with the leaves on this tree. And then maybe we can go in with that same brown, green, yellow. And we can just go in here and we're making some more greenery on our little island. More greenery. Add some in here. Now we can go in with that same color and we can just start making it come out this way. Have it go all the way out. And then why not, for a little bit of more lightness, brightness, we can go in and we can add some white. The white really makes it pop, I would say. It looks nice. This ends up becoming a very weirdly realistic greenish clover color. Great for clover. Maybe I'll go in and I'll add some, and we're really just bringing this out. More white. More white here. More white. And this other side is a bit greener, so we can do there. Do it there. Add more green to our green. Anyway, we can bring it out over here, and we get the same color mixture. We have a big bush in here. Okay. We have a little bush in here. Let's give it some extra white. Make it kind of misty. Kind of wispy. Mist wisp. Yeah, that's what we can call you. We'll call you Mist Wisp. Mistwhisp. And then maybe we can go in and add another big tree right in here. Right in here. Can make its branches go out this way, have it go out here, have one going down from here, because that's fun. Then we can go with those same colors right up in here. And right along the edges I'll add some red. Right into here. It's actually a very effective way to add contrast and to add some light, like especially with how color theory works, because red and green are on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's very easy to use them to create a brownish color, almost black. So whenever you have green and you use black, or you use red for the shadows, it ends up looking very natural, and it's actually pretty cool looking. And then we're gonna go in with our green, and we'll mix in a little bit of blue, and we're gonna go in here and we're gonna create a really big bush right out here to the side. Mix in some more blue to make it look less brown, more green right in here, and we'll add some yellow in too, why not, right in here. And then we'll do the same for this little area here. Now I'm going in here and I'm going to add a little bit more depth and color to our little path that's going through here. And we're just going to go in here and we're cutting through the paint to add some little path detail. And then we can even go in here and do the same thing. We can go for all of our bushes and just create little indication things that are living in here and making their homes and making some things with like some branches and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. And maybe using our palette knife, we can go in with our brown and blue, mix it together a bit, and then we can go in here and just pull this down here. And maybe we'll use our fan brush to mix the colors a bit. Need more. Mix them here and just have one big branch thing coming through here. We can make this bluish, have blue accents. We can go in here. Maybe this one doesn't have leaves. Maybe it's a bit of a dead tree. That's okay. Then we can go in, and I'm just going to use my sponge brush for this, and we're just going to go in here and we're going to put this into the background a little bit, using plenty of our green and yellow. This needs more green. Okay, I think I've done about all I can do, so I'm going to go in with my little brush, and I'm going to find somewhere cool to sign the painting. See if you can figure it out. Okay, I think that's about all that we can do here. That's about where we're done. This was a little bit experimental with adding more trees and foliage and stuff, which is a practice that he uses a lot, but this is the first time that we're doing it. So it's sort of a first try, and I hope that you enjoy watching me try this as much as I did actually doing it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know how I did in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, of course. I mean, every YouTuber says that, but if I don't say it, then people probably aren't going to do it. Alright, this is the Painter, signing off. So long. Farewell.